Grade 8, Module 6, Linear Functions. Topic A, Linear Functions. Lesson 3, Representation of a Line. Lesson Summary. When the rate of change b and an initial value a are given in the context of a problem, the linear function that models the situation is given by the equation y equals a plus bx. The rate of change and initial value can also be used to graph the linear function that models the situation. When two or more ordered pairs are given in the context of a problem that involves a linear relationship, the graph of the linear function is the line that passes through those points. The linear function can be represented by the equation of that line. We will now go through the exit card associated with this lesson. Question 1. A car starts a journey with 18 gallons of fuel. The car will consume 4/100ths of a gallon for every mile driven. Let A represent the amount of gas in the tank in gallons and M represent the number of miles driven. Part A. How much gas is in the tank if 0 miles have been driven? How would this be represented on the axes above? There are 18 gallons of gas in the tank. This would be represented as the point 0, 18 on the graph above and is also the initial value. If you look at the graph above, you can see that that point was plotted. Part B. What is the rate of change that relates the amount of gas in the tank to the number of miles driven? Explain what it means within the context of the problem. The rate of change is negative 0.04. This means that the car consumes 4/100ths of a gallon of gas for every mile driven. It relates the amount of gas to the miles driven. Part C. On the axes above, graph the line that relates A to M. Using the rate of change, I am able to identify additional points as needed. I want to know that for every 50 miles driven, what is my decrease in fuel? So I used the calculation 50 times my rate of change, which is negative 0.04. And this calculates to negative 2. So therefore, for every 50 miles driven, it results in a 2-gallon decrease of fuel. Using this information, I know that another point on my graph is 50, 16. Using that information, I am able to complete my graph above. Part D. Write the linear function that models the relationship between the number of miles driven and the amount of gas in the tank. The linear function that models the relationship between the number of miles driven and the amount of gas in the tank is A equals 18 minus 0.04 m, or A equals negative 0.04 m plus 18. In words, this is saying that the amount of gas in gallons is equal to 18, which is the amount of fuel that we started out with at 0 miles, minus 0.04 times the number of miles driven. Question 2. Andrew works in a restaurant. The graph below shows the relationship between the amount Andrew earns and the number of hours he works. Part A. If Andrew works for 7 hours, approximately how much does he earn? Andrew will earn approximately $96 if he works for 7 hours. You can see this information displayed by the lines drawn on the graph above. Part B. Estimate how long Andrew has to work in order to earn $64. Andrew will have to work 3 hours in order to earn $64. Again, this information is displayed with the lines shown on the graph above. Part C. What is the rate of change of the function given by the graph? Interpret the values within the context of the problem. Using the information from Part A and B, I am able to calculate the slope. So, using the ordered pairs 3, 64 and 7, 96, the slope is 8. Calculated by using rise over run. 96 minus 64 divided by 7 minus 3, which is equal to 32 divided by 4, which gives me the answer of 8. The slope is 8, which means that the amount Andrew earns increased by $8 every hour.